On 19 November, there is a silent shift happening inside you, whether you recognize it immediately or not. This day does not arrive as just another date on a calendar. It arrives as a reminder that awareness is your true turning point. When 19 November appears before you in this way, it means something within you is beginning to wake up. It means the noise that once controlled your direction is losing its power, and your inner clarity is becoming louder than the world around you. This is not a coincidence. This is a signal that you have stepped into a moment where your mind and your life are ready to align. On 19 November, the universe does not speak with words. It speaks through timing, and the timing today is perfect. Awakening does not happen in an instant. It comes from a series of inner realizations, small shifts, and subtle moments where you pause and see the truth of your own behavior. 19 November stands as a mirror. It reflects the version of you that has been asleep for too long, and it also reflects the version of you that now wants to rise. This day invites you to notice how you breathe, how you think, how you react, how you choose. Something inside you today is becoming more aware. You may feel it as clarity, as discomfort, as inspiration, or as a sudden sense that change is necessary. Whatever the form, it is all part of the awakening that 19 November pushes into your life. Awakening is not poetic, it is practical. It means you start paying attention to what you think. It means you notice the habits that continue to limit you. It means you no longer allow the past to define the future. On 19 November, this awareness sharpens. You begin to see the difference between your real self and the patterns you have been repeating. You begin to understand that you are not stuck, you are simply conditioned. And once you see this clearly, you can break those conditions. This is why today matters. 19 November marks the moment when you begin to question the automatic, unconscious actions that have shaped your life. It marks the moment you choose to wake up from the illusion of limitation. This awakening brings responsibility. On 19 November, the universe does not simply choose you. It demands something from you. It demands honesty. It demands discipline. It demands that you stop pretending you do not know what needs to be done. You do know. The awakening happening today brings the truth to the surface. It shows you the gap between who you are and who you could be. And when you see that gap clearly, there is no more hiding. There is only the decision to rise. That is the power of this moment. It shows you the truth with such clarity that ignoring it becomes painful. On 19 November, you begin to recognize that everything you have been seeking outside is actually already inside you. The strength, the courage, the clarity, the potential, it has always been there. But only now, on this day of awakening, do you start to truly feel it. You start to sense that you are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to believe. You start to sense that you are ready to step into a new version of yourself. This is not motivation, this is realization. This is the moment you become conscious of your own power. And once you become conscious, your life can no longer remain the same. Awakening means becoming aware of the choices you were blind to. It means seeing how your thoughts shape your life. It means recognizing how your emotions move, your decisions. On 19 November, every choice you make carries a deeper weight because you are no longer acting unconsciously. You start to walk with intention. You start to speak with clarity. You start to move with purpose. This is the transformation the universe was waiting for. The universe chooses those who begin to choose themselves, and that choice begins with awareness. On 19 November, you also begin to feel a sense of responsibility for the space inside your mind. You see that each thought either weakens or strengthens you. Each reaction either pulls you backward or moves you forward. Awakening means understanding that you are the one who must guard your mind. No one else can protect it. No one else can discipline it. No one else can direct it. Today, this realization grows inside you like a flame that shows you that inner mastery is the only path to outer change. As 19 November unfolds, the awakening becomes undeniable. You become aware of your distractions, aware of your fears, aware of your excuses, but also aware of your strengths, your clarity, and your potential. And this awareness is the beginning of your transformation. Today marks the moment when your inner world opens its eyes, when your energy shifts from drifting to directing, when your life stops being a reaction and becomes a conscious creation. On 19 November, awakening is not just a thought, it is your new reality. On 19 November, you must understand something very important about how the universe works. It never chooses randomly. It never moves without purpose. When a message appears before you on 19 November, it means you have reached a level of readiness that you may not have fully recognized yet, but it has already been seen. The universe responds when your inner state matches the moment you are meant to step into. And on 19 November, that alignment is happening inside you. This day is not about luck, it is about resonance. You attract the message because your inner world has shifted enough to receive it. 19 November stands as a silent confirmation that your energy, your discipline, your intentions, and your awareness have reached a point where new guidance can enter your life. When you see something powerful on this day, it is because you are no longer who you used to be. You have already begun to rise internally. Even if the outer changes are not visible yet, the universe responds to this rise long before you do. On 19 November, something inside you is becoming clear. You are beginning to see what truly matters. You are beginning to feel what needs to change. You are beginning to sense what is no longer aligned with your growth. These shifts are not accidental, they are invitations. The universe only places these invitations in front of those who have done enough inner work to recognize them. If this message reaches you today, it is because you are prepared, maybe quietly, maybe slowly. But prepared to see deeper, prepare to take responsibility, prepare to transform. You must understand that readiness is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is subtle. It shows up in the way you finally stop running from your own thoughts. It shows up in the way you start observing your emotions instead of being controlled by them. It shows up when you begin choosing silence over noise, discipline over comfort, growth over distraction. On 19 November, these shifts within you have become strong enough for the universe to respond. You are no longer living unconsciously, you are paying attention, and the universe rewards attention with direction. On 19 November, the universe chooses you because you have already chosen yourself in small ways you may not have noticed. Every moment you resisted negativity, every moment you controlled your reaction, every moment you questioned your old patterns, every moment you stood back up after failing these moments built a signal. This signal rises from within you, and on 19 November, it becomes strong enough for the universe to answer. What you receive today is a reflection of the strengths you have already shown. The universe does not choose those who wait. It chooses those who move, those who take small steps even when they feel lost, those who continue forward even when the path is unclear. On 19 November, you are being chosen because you have demonstrated persistence. You have shown that you are not willing to remain who you were. There is courage inside you that even you have underestimated. Today, the universe reveals that it has not overlooked your effort. It has simply been waiting for the moment when you were ready to hear what it has been preparing for you. Readiness also means responsibility. On 19 November, The guidance you receive demands action. It demands honesty. It demands that you stop delaying the changes you already know you must make. The universe will not overwhelm you with more than you can handle. It responds exactly at the pace you can grow. And today, it knows you are capable of much more than you have allowed yourself to believe. The appearance of this message on 19 November is a sign that your potential is no longer dormant. It is asking to be used. There are moments in life when your inner world and the outer world meet. These moments are rare. They feel almost electric. 19 November holds that energy. It is a day where your internal shifts reach a height that naturally draws new opportunities, new insights, new strength toward you. You may not fully understand why, but you feel that something is moving, something is aligning, something is pushing you to rise. This is not imagination. This is the universe responding to your new level of self-awareness. On 19 November, you must also realize that when the universe chooses you, it is giving you a responsibility, not a reward. It is asking you to step into a higher version of yourself, not to admire the moment. It is asking you to transform your mindset, not your circumstances. It is asking you to become disciplined enough to handle the guidance you are receiving. This is the truth behind the moment. The universe responds only when you can carry what it gives you. You have reached that point on 19 November. That is why this message stands in front of you now. Your readiness has been seen, your strength has been recognized, and the universe responds. On 19 November, the meaning of clarity becomes unmistakable. You begin to see how much of your life has been shaped by the noise inside your own mind. Not the noise from the world, not the voices from outside, but the whispers of doubt, the weight of fear, the constant movement of unnecessary thoughts. When 19 November arrives with this message, it is reminding you that your path cannot open until your mind does. It is reminding you that the direction of your life is determined not by luck, but by the quality of your inner state. And today, that inner state is being called to rise. On 19 November, you start to notice that the obstacles you thought were external were actually internal. That the confusion you blamed on circumstances was actually the result of a crowded mind. A mind filled with overthinking, with emotional chaos, with old memories that still carry weight, even though they should have been released long ago. This day brings a truth that many avoid. The world becomes clearer only when the mind becomes quiet. And 19 November stands as a reminder that clarity is not given, it is created. The path in front of you is not invisible. It is simply covered by everything you have not yet dealt with. On 19 November, the universe shows you that the fog in your life is the fog inside your thoughts. And the moment you begin to breathe deeply, observe your mind, and remove the unnecessary stories you keep repeating, that fog begins to lift. You begin to sense direction again. You begin to feel what the next step should be. You begin to understand where you must go, and more importantly, what you must leave behind. When 19 November reveals itself in this way, it brings a powerful teaching. Your mind is either your greatest tool or your greatest barrier. If your thoughts are scattered, your life will be scattered. If your emotions control you, your path will be unstable. If your fears lead the way, your progress will always be limited. But when clarity enters your mind, true clarity, quiet clarity, everything begins to align. And on 19 November, that clarity is asking to enter your life. There is a moment on 19 November when you realize that simplicity is strength. You recognize that the mind becomes powerful not when it tries to control everything, but when it learns to let go of what is not essential. when you stop arguing with yourself, when you stop feeding old wounds, when you stop giving attention to thoughts that weaken you. This is the shift 19 November brings. A shift from complexity to simplicity. A shift from noise to silence. A shift from confusion to direction. Clarity does not arrive by accident. It arrives through discipline. On 19 November, you begin to see the importance of inner discipline, not as a restriction, but as liberation. You start understanding that the mind becomes clear when you control what you allow into it, that you cannot expect peace if you constantly welcome distraction, that you cannot expect focus if you feed chaos. The universe chooses this day to remind you that inner discipline creates inner freedom. And this freedom is what clears your path. As 19 November unfolds, you may notice moments of sudden understanding. You may feel a strong urge to organize your thoughts, to simplify your decisions, to breathe deeper. These are signs that your mind is attempting to align with a clearer state. The universe is not pushing you, it is revealing that the life you want cannot coexist with a mind filled with unnecessary noise. Revealing that success, growth, and transformation become possible only when your mind stops fighting itself. The clarity of 19 November also shows you how much energy you have wasted on things that do not matter. Old arguments, imagined fears, doubts that never came true, memories that no longer serve you. When you see this, you begin to reclaim your energy. You begin to direct your attention toward what strengthens you, not what weakens you. This is the shift that turns 19 November into a powerful moment of awakening. You finally understand that you are responsible for the content of your mind, and once you accept this responsibility, your path naturally begins to open. On 19 November, the inner silence you create becomes your strongest guide. Silence is not emptiness, it is clarity. It is the space where your intuition becomes louder than your fear. It is the place where your purpose becomes visible. It is the moment when you can finally hear yourself without distortion. And once you hear yourself clearly, your next steps become obvious. This is what the universe wants you to see today. Your path has always been there, waiting for you to quiet your mind enough to recognize it. The power of 19 November lies in this truth. Your mind is the architect of your reality. And today, you are being given a chance to rebuild it with clarity, with intention, and with strength. When the mind clears, the path clears. And on 19 November, that clarity begins within you. On 19 November, the meaning of discipline becomes clearer than it ever has before. This day arrives like a mirror, showing you exactly why your life is the way it is. It shows you that everything you desire, everything you dream of, everything you hope for, stands on the other side of your discipline. Not luck, not motivation, not inspiration, only discipline. On 19 November, this truth becomes impossible to ignore. You begin to understand that the distance between who you are and who you want to become is measured by your daily actions. It is measured by your consistency, your commitment, and your willingness to do what must be done even when you do not feel like doing it. On 19 November, you start to feel the power of responsibility settling into your life. You begin to see how often you held yourself back, not because you lacked potential, but because you lacked consistency. The universe shows you that effort without discipline is scattered energy, and scattered energy cannot build the life you want. Today, the path becomes honest, it becomes real, it becomes direct. You finally see that discipline is not punishment, it is freedom. It is the key that unlocks everything you've been waiting for. When 19 November arrives with this message, it is reminding you that transformation is not created by dramatic decisions, it is created by small, repeated actions. The discipline to wake up on time, the discipline to control your thoughts, the discipline to speak with intention, the discipline to act even when you're tired. These are the moments that build strength. These are the moments that shape character. And these are the moments the universe recognizes. On 19 November, it becomes obvious that the universe chooses those who choose discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your current self and your future self. On 19 November, you begin to see that everything you want lives on the other side of that bridge. Confidence, peace, growth, purpose, achievement. These things do not appear magically. They appear through disciplined action repeated over time. Every time you show discipline, you strengthen yourself. Every time you lack discipline, you strengthen your excuses. Today, the universe wants you to see which side you've been feeding, and it wants you to change that rhythm. On 19 November, the excuses that once felt comfortable start to feel heavy. You realize that excuses do not protect you, they imprison you. They hold you in the same place, year after year, repeating the same patterns, the same habits, the same limitations. Discipline is the force that breaks you free from that cycle. It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter how slow you start. What matters is that you show up every day, even when it's difficult, especially when it's difficult. That is the standard 19 November brings into your awareness. There is a strong shift inside you on 19 November. It is the shift where you stop waiting for motivation and start building momentum. Motivation is temporary. It rises and falls like waves. But discipline is constant. It is the anchor that keeps you steady during storms. It is the engine that keeps you moving when everything else tells you to stop. When you embrace this on 19 November, you begin to understand why some people grow and others remain the same. Growth belongs to the disciplined. Transformation belongs to the disciplined. Freedom belongs to the disciplined. On 19 November, you also begin to see that discipline is a form of self-respect. When you discipline your mind, your environment, your habits, you are sending yourself a message. You are worthy of growth. You are worthy of consistency. You are worthy of becoming the strongest version of yourself. This realization changes the way you move. You stop negotiating with your weaknesses. You stop giving into impulses. You stop allowing your emotions to control your direction. Instead, you guide your emotions with your discipline. This day also reveals a deeper truth. Discipline is not about forcing yourself. It is about aligning yourself. Aligning your actions with your goals. Aligning your habits with your values. Aligning your daily life with the person you want to become. On 19 November, this alignment becomes urgent. You feel a push from deep within a push to remove distractions, to strengthen your focus, to protect your time, to rise with intention. This is not pressure. It is clarity. It is the universe telling you that your next level requires more from you. As 19 November unfolds, you begin to realize that discipline turns dreams into structure. It turns potential into progress. It turns intention into action. Without discipline, everything remains a thought. With discipline, everything becomes possible. This is why the universe highlights this message today. You are ready for the next stage, but the next stage requires a stronger version of you, a more committed version, a more focused version, a more disciplined version. On 19 November, the truth becomes undeniable. Your future is built by your discipline. Your transformation is fueled by your discipline. Your greatness is unlocked by your discipline. And starting today, the universe expects you to rise into that power. On 19 November, the message of letting go becomes unavoidable. This day arrives as a quiet but powerful reminder that you cannot carry everything with you into the next stage of your life. Some thoughts, some habits, some fears, some people, and some identities have reached their ending point. On 19 November, the universe places this truth in front of you. What you cling to is what controls you, and what you release is what frees you. This is the day you begin to realize that growth is not only about adding more to your life, it is just as much about removing what no longer serves you. On 19 November, you feel a shift inside you, a subtle discomfort that tells you something must change. This is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of evolution. You are beginning to outgrow environments that once felt comfortable. You are beginning to see through people who drain your energy. You are beginning to recognize habits that keep you small. Letting go on 19 November does not mean abandoning your life. It means clearing space for your life to expand. It means choosing clarity over attachment. It means trusting that release creates room for something better to enter. The universe uses 19 November to show you that holding on can be heavier than you think. It weighs down your mind, your emotions, your focus, and your potential. You may not notice the weight every day, but you feel it when you try to rise. You feel it when you try to move forward. You feel it when you attempt to break old patterns. On 19 November, you finally see the truth. You cannot climb if your hands are full. You cannot advance if your heart is occupied with what belongs to your past. You cannot transform if you insist on carrying versions of yourself that no longer reflect who you are becoming. On 19 November, letting go becomes an act of strength. It becomes a declaration that you are no longer willing to be controlled by your old stories. Maybe it is an old fear that has haunted you. Maybe it is a memory you keep replaying. Maybe it is a disappointment you never healed from. Maybe it is a belief that makes you doubt your own abilities. Whatever it is, today the universe asks you to release it, not because it was meaningless, but because it has completed its role in your life. Its purpose is done, its lesson is learned, its time is over. Letting go on 19 November also requires honesty. You must be honest about what is truly holding you back. You must be honest about the people who no longer align with your growth. You must be honest about the routines that weaken you instead of strengthening you. This honesty is not easy, but it is necessary. The universe is not asking you to hurt yourself by holding on. It is asking you to free yourself by letting go. And today, the timing is right. Today, your inner world is prepared for this release. On 19 November, you understand that letting go is not losing something, it is gaining space. Space for clarity, space for peace, space for discipline, space for the next version of yourself. When you release what weighs you down, you rise without effort. When you release emotional baggage, your mind becomes sharp again. When you release old attachments, your energy becomes light again. This is the transformation 19 November brings. It is the moment when you stop fighting to keep what you have already outgrown. You must also know that letting go is not passive. It is active. It is a decision to no longer carry what has been hurting you, a decision to no longer entertain thoughts that weaken you, a decision to no longer repeat patterns that limit you. On 19 November, you step into this power with clarity. You see that the more you let go of, the more aligned you become with your true self. And alignment is where growth begins. Alignment is where strength awakens. Alignment is where direction becomes clear. On 19 November, the universe shows you that endings are not enemies. Endings are invitations. Every ending clears a path. Every ending creates possibility. Every ending opens a new direction. When you let go, you do not fall apart, you fall into place. You fall into the next stage of your life with honesty, with purpose, with clarity. The universe chose this day to deliver this message because you are ready to release. ready to rise, ready to transform. As 19 November unfolds, you begin to notice how much lighter you feel when you stop holding on to what hurts. You begin to see the world differently. You begin to see yourself differently. You begin to understand that peace comes not from control, but from release. This is the wisdom 19 November carries into your life. Letting go is not weakness. It is strength. It is courage. It is maturity. And it is the doorway to everything you are meant to become. On 19 November, the message is clear. Release what no longer belongs, so you can finally become who you were meant to be.